monthly cash flow gleam so you can learn about real estate investing in a safe, fun, and interactive way. And it's for beginners to more advanced. Basically, it's developed by Robert Kiyosaki in the Cashflow game. So I just want to explain a little bit on how to play that so you're ready to go when you come. Everybody gets one of these little sheets. You can be a lawyer, doctor, teacher, janitor, mechanic, business owner, and it gets all the details here. It kind of puts in your income, your expenses, assets, and liabilities, and then you total your income, also your expenses, and also what your monthly cash flow would be. So we would transfer this card over to this worksheet. So this is like your income statement, and you can use this for real life to put in your own information. So again, you put in your salary, your interest, dividends, real estate owned, businesses owned. Your expenses would be typical expenses we have: credit card payments, school loans, car loans, home mortgage, taxes, insurance, all that stuff. You do have a little information here: passive income. If you end up getting some real estate or other businesses that drives income for you, that would be there, and then you total it up. This one accommodates for if you have children, because you have per child expenses that gets deducted, and of course you add in all your total expenses, and then that's your cash flow, which is your paycheck. That means after all the income minus expenses, what you have left over to spend. Bottom sheet, the balance sheet, consists of assets and liabilities. So basically you would put in the information: savings, again, any real estate businesses, liabilities, your mortgage, school loans, all that stuff. So those sheets are filled out in the beginning. When you're ready to play the game, you go onto this board. Basically, you're picking out your little rat. The rat goes around the board, kind of like going through the rat race. Each player gets a different color rat and a corresponding cheese. The cheese corresponds to this bigger outer circle that kind of explains what your dream might be. It might be a charitable donation, a trip to the African safari. I mean, whatever kind of big dreams that you have long term. So everyone starts with the roll of one die, and then you would move 2 little spots. Depends on where you land. If you land on the yellow, it says paycheck. That means the money you got here on this monthly cash flow, otherwise known as paycheck, you'll get money every time you go on the board and land there. So that's like your job, that you get paid every week or two. If you land on a doodad card, the doodad card ends up having you picking it up, and sometimes it might be buying something or paying for something. So this one says your child needs braces, pay $200. So obviously you take it out of the money that you have from your paycheck and you have to pay that. If you end up on the market, this is another card. So something of this card is, oh look, a home buyer. A home buyer is wanting to buy a house for anybody who has 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If you don't have any, then basically it doesn't apply. If you do, it'll say how much someone's willing to pay. On the other side of the board, you have what's called small deals. So as you go around the circle, you might end up in a small deal section. The small deals, like for example this one, would say house for sale, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a house that costs $65,000. Down payment is $5,000. Mortgage might be $60,000, and then your cash flow is $160,000. Remember, the whole game is to get out of the rat race where your passive income exceeds your expenses, because that means all your income you're getting from not your job is paying off your expenses, and then you can do bigger deals, which brings us to the next one. So the bigger deal ends up being a little bit more expensive. So it's a fourplex for sale. So this one, they give an example that it costs $100,000. Your down payment is $20,000, mortgage is $80,000, and your cash flow is $800,000. So it ends up being a bigger deal. Sometimes if you don't have the money, you can borrow from the bank, but with an interest rate of 10%, or you can do a wholesale deal and see if any of the other players would be willing to pay you to take over this deal. So the whole game kind of goes around in circles until someone gets enough passive income that exceeds their expenses, and they're now ready to get out of the rat race and go into a bigger deal. So it's a really fun interactive game. Like I said, there's beginning to intermediate investors, and we're all there to kind of help each other play, have fun, and learn about real estate. All right, hope to see you at one of our games. Bye-bye.